Everyone knows the name Jeffrey Epstein. It's a story that has circled the globe. Power, wealth, influence, and crime so disturbing they almost don't feel real. We've seen the headlines, we've heard the rumors, we've watched the documentaries. So, here's the question. If everyone knows, why does it still feel like we know nothing? Why does a real, deep reporting on Epstein, and more importantly, the people around him, seem to hit a wall every single time? Because this isn't just a story about one man. It's a story about systems, about power, and about how information can quietly disappear when it gets too close to the wrong people. In this video, we are not revisiting what happened. We are digging into why the truth feels incomplete and why, years later, the full story hasn't come out yet. The initial investigation into Jeffrey Epstein began in March 2005 when Palm Beach police in Florida received a report from parents of a 14-year-old girl who alleged she was molested at his mansion. Following this complaint, police identified dozens of other underage victims, leading to a grand jury indictment in 2006. A parent reported that Epstein paid her 14-year-old stepdaughter to strip and massage him, prompting local police to begin looking into his activities. Detectives found that the girl was not an isolated incident. They uncovered a pattern of similar abuse involving multiple underage girls, often recruited by others. In July 2006, following the investigation, a grand jury indicted Epstein on state charges of soliciting prostitution. Despite the evidence collected, the initial investigation led to a controversial 2008 plea deal in which Epstein pleaded guilty to lesser state charges of soliciting a prostitute, allowing him to avoid federal sex trafficking charges. Palm Beach Police Department conducted a sexual battery investigation involving Jeffrey Epstein. On January 4, 2006, Mr. Alfredo Rodriguez was interviewed. Mr. Rodriguez stated that he was formerly employed by Epstein as a house manager and, among other things, a butler, a chauffeur, chef, and houseman. He must also run certain errands for Epstein and provide for Epstein's guests. Alfredo Rodriguez was the manager of Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach home from 2004 to 2005 and became a key witness who exposed, via depositions and undercover FBI interviews, the routine abuse occurring at the residence. In a deposition for civil litigation, Rodriguez described seeing underage girls at the mansion, cleaning up certain toys for Ghislaine Maxwell after long sessions, and observing underage girls on Epstein's personal computer. It should also be noted that Rodriguez kept a copy of Epstein's infamous Little Black Book of Contacts, which he viewed as insurance against Epstein, claiming he feared Epstein might make him disappear. In 2009, Rodriguez attempted to sell this copy of the Black Book for $50,000 to an undercover FBI agent posing as a lawyer for an Epstein survivor.
Who created this book?
Epstein himself. He was very organized. He was supposed to read this with every plane and everything. There's the computer was the radio with water. First time in my life I saw that to keep it cool because they used to download pictures like this, just like that.
What kind of pictures?
Naked girls from Sweden, from Romania, from Czechoslovakia, from Brazil, from
All
Colombia.
minors? All young girls?
Very young, very young.
Like when you say very young, how young are you talking?
16, 17. The teenagers, they have braces, most of them.
Younger than that though?
Yeah. And they used to go out to comedy shops or ice cream parlors or movies, a lot of movies. Because it was paintings, ice cream and comedy and movies. Records that they would stay even if you erase them. I know I would erase them, say there's a Ghislaine Maxwell was his former companion, a very powerful lady from England. She would go to the former Eastern countries in Europe and find girls for Epstein. And I knew that because I went with my wife. They used to have a computer so powerful. They used to have a water radiator to cool the computer because they used to download pictures like that so fast. Girls, she has nice breasts, she has this and that.
You saw that stuff?
Yeah.
On the computer?
Yeah.
Pictures of the girls? When they ate and stuff like that?
Yeah, I testify that.
Despite proving key information about the network, Rodriguez was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice for withholding evidence from federal investigators. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison in 2012, the same duration as Epstein's initial plea deal sentence, and passed away in 2014 at the age of 60. Katy Fang of the meidastouch network sued Todd Blanche, and in her own words, she's saying, "I'm suing Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to force the Department of Justice to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. As a journalist, if I can't access the full Epstein files, I can't do my job reporting on the facts and evidence around Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and other Epstein elites."
There's a few other claims in the lawsuit. I invite you to take some time to look at them, but they're pretty much clear. Count 1, violation of the Administrative Procedure Act. In other words, the defendant, as in Todd Blanche at the Department of Justice production of materials, is a final agency action. Remember, he said, "I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore," and the production is not in accordance with the law. Count 2 is a violation of that Administrative Procedures Act because right now the Department of Justice is producing materials in an arbitrary and capricious way because they haven't given a reason that is adequate, reasoned, or lawful for redacting documents in whole or in part, retracting documents, or failing to produce others. Thank you, Brendan, for reminding me here. Another part of this lawsuit is the fact that documents have been provided and then taken down and then never put back up. Count 3, ultra vires agency action. In other words, I am seeking an injunction that the official actions taken by the department are unlawful. And count 4 is a declaratory judgment. I am seeking an injunction. I am seeking the court to force, to enjoin, to create the obligation by way of a judicial order for the Department of Justice to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. And that's it.